Yes. So do we want to start with? I think men's volleyball makes the most sense.
We'll go volleyball and then basketball and then whatever else we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, there's not.
Good morning, everybody. It is 10:41 a.m. on Friday, January 27th. It's 25 degrees outside right now. We are kicking off the second semester.
Yeah, I'm saying.
We had a whole big debate about whether the second semester counts as a new season or it's just a continuation of the first season.
Yeah, I'm under the thought that it's kind of a continuation of the first season.
Okay.
Next year will be the second season.
All right.
I would imagine.
The branding is key here, though. We gotta.
That's true.
As long as we have the debate settled. Anyway, we're back with the WLC Sports Podcast, presented by The Sword, Wisconsin Lutheran College's independent student-run newspaper. I'm Jack Stern. This is John Cannonberg. This is Isaac Stellick. He's going to be our guest this week.
Hello, hello.
Coming in from men's volleyball.
Yes.
Who we have a lot to talk about with men's volleyball, actually. So do you want to just dive right into it?
We might as well.
All right, cool.
They don't want to hear us talk about random things. We got to get to the chase here.
They want us to cut back on the random things. So we'll try to get right into it.
That was a topic of discussion in last week's meeting. You know, we can't keep pulling 55-minute, 1 hour long episodes. So
yeah. Which we're fine. Well, we never go off on any tangents.
Oh, of course, we always stay on topic.
Just like how we were going to talk about volleyball, and then we've been discussing.
Yeah, we already did have a sidetrack. We had a sidetrack about what constitutes a season of the pod, and
we're fine.
All these different things.
But all right, men's volleyball. So you guys just opened up your season with a trip to New York City, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And well, I feel like we got to address the biggest thing that happened here, which is the first ever win for the program. The first ever wins, because you guys got two of them.
Yes.
So I guess just talk us through how the trip went, the games, matches that you played, and everything else.
All right. Well, we actually got back this Sunday, and I can tell you this: all of us were both physically and mentally burnt because we had a lot of fun, but also playing 3 games in 1 week is pretty tiring. But we went to Times Square. We saw a lot of cool things in New York, and we won our very first game in program history, which I know to the current freshmen might not mean a lot, but to the upperclassmen, the juniors and seniors, this meant a lot because freshman and sophomore year we didn't win a single game. So that final point really meant a lot to all 4 of us, and it's Matthew, Grant, me, and Logan. We were the last people who are here who first started playing volleyball when the program first started. So that win meant a lot. Yeah. Yeah,
for sure. And to start out the season with a winning record is really impressive, especially coming off of the like you said, the past 2 years of just kind of the getting the program started, kind of trying to build it up from literally nothing because it just started. But I heard that you guys have a really good recruiting class. Is that true? Is that?
Yes, we do. We have a lot of good freshmen, and actually a lot of the freshmen are actually starters. Drew Wempner, Trevor. I do not know how to say his last name. I'm so sorry, Trevor. And Marcus. Who else do we have? I'm brain dead. Anyways, those 3 freshmen I know are really, really good, and we have a lot of other really good freshmen too on the roster.
Yeah, which is really cool because for the future of the program, we talked about that with some other sports in the fall, especially women's soccer. I know had a pretty good freshman class. So really cool to see just kind of building that up. It's funny, you mentioning Grant and Drew reminds me. So in high school, we always had this volleyball tournament that we would do called Kings of the Court. In our senior year, I was on a team with them, and they just completely carried us to eventually winning. The rest of the team was we could keep the ball from hitting the ground a bit, and then it was just get it to them, and we tried to win the point. But that was a lot of fun to do. And I'm also realizing last time we talked about volleyball was when we had our discussion due for that one class, and that's when we were doing intramural volleyball. That I was really excited about, right? We got absolutely destroyed first round of the playoffs. We came back from Thanksgiving break and it was just I don't even know how to. There are no words to describe how badly we played. But that's my volleyball story.
I'm sure we could think of some words, right?
We could think of some words. I'm just not sure that you can say all of them on this program. So,
of course.
I
This is, family-friendly content here. That's what we're all about.
we strive to keep it,
We keep it between the lines.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah. But, so yeah, I guess, looking ahead to the rest of the season, is there, goals that you want to accomplish as a team? Are there other, I guess teams that you're looking to beat this year that you wouldn't have been able to beat last year?
I know one team that I personally really hope to beat is Lakeland.
Okay.
We did play them in the fall, just like as a scrimmage. We did lose, but it was a lot better than what we did our freshman and sophomore year. So that's one team I'm hoping to beat. I'm hoping to also beat Rockford and Edgewood. And we're actually playing Rockford tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one's at Rockford, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have in our little agenda here that your next home game is February 5th versus UC Santa Cruz, 12 p.m. Come on out to it. I love looking through your schedule. Like when I was putting this together, I looked through it. There are so many teams that no one else at WLC ever gets to play.
Really?
I mean, case in point, you have the UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs, which
That's right. We had a whole discussion
Exactly.
about the Banana Slug name.
And I love that. There's other teams. I'm forgetting exactly which ones, but I remember just looking through and I was like, these teams are no one that you would ever know other than the fact that they come and play the men's volleyball team, which is really cool. And you talked about, when we were talking about volleyball in that discussion I mentioned, you talked about how Wisconsin is kind of or the Midwest kind of like a hub for volleyball.
It
correct?
has a lot of really, really good competition up here. Our conference is very hard, and it's that's all I can say. It's really hard, but it's also really fun.
Are there top programs in our conference for D3? I feel like I remember hearing that, but maybe that was for a different sport.
I'm not the best person to ask this question, but I believe there are. I think
Okay.
Dominicans up there.
That's what I remember hearing. So I feel like
Maybe Aurora. I'm not too sure.
Okay. But yeah, I remember seeing on the schedule or just hearing from somebody that there were number 6 or number 3 in this conference, which is
They actually posted a D3 of all the rankings, and I think they're up there on there.
Yeah. So that probably didn't help with the I guess growing pains of the past 2
no,
years.
it did not.
Immediately throwing you guys in against some of the best teams.
Trial by fire, man.
Yeah, I mean, it all paid off now. You started off the season, you got a winning record, and
I think that's got to be rewarding to see some growth in the program, especially after you're sticking with it for a few years like that. So
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, if you look back at one of our freshman games, and you just watch that, and then you compare it to one of the recent games we played, you can see a massive difference in how we started and how far we've gotten.
Yeah. It's a progress. That's how it works. So you got to work your way up. You got to build something up. So it's good to see.
Seriously. Yeah. I guess anything else you want to talk to us about for men's volleyball, just looking ahead? Or
Well, going back to how progress and stuff, I guess the coaches also have a big impact in that, because I know there are some coaches who just don't really care, or they want to win, but they just work on the same things. We have 3 coaches: Coach Ensley, Coach Dibb, and Coach Taylor, and all 3 of them are willing to put so much time into this program to help all of us grow, and it means a lot to all of us, especially the juniors and seniors, because we've started this started to nothing, and it's already building into something really amazing, and I'm just really excited for the future, because I actually wasn't planning on playing volleyball when I was coming to here, but then got noticed saying men's volleyball freshman year program, new one. I was like, heck yeah, why not?
Exactly.
And look at you now. You're big time now.
You've literally made history as the first ever, as being on the team, as the first ever win in the program.
A rostered member of the first winning team in the program.
Exactly.
The first team to win. So
I do have to ask this question before we move on to any other sports. we talked to Autumn in the fall, ironically.
Yes.
But
yeah.
there.
Uh-huh.
But
How did we not make that pun in that episode?
I didn't think of it until just
Didn't think
now,
of it.
But no, we talked to Autumn and we talked a lot about how the women's team has yoga classes as part of their practice regimen. Is that something that you guys do too, or no?
Yes, like
That was a very hesitant yes.
we do it like once a month, or well, okay, not even once a month. It just happens. It just randomly.
Spontaneous yoga.
It just randomly happens. Like
someone just like snaps their fingers. There's like a puff of smoke. All of a sudden, everyone's like laying on yoga mats, and
the yoga instructor just magically appears.
it's like a genie coming out of a magic bottle or something.
yeah.
You know.
I'd like to think that like there's something where like in the 34th minute of every practice, everybody just drops into a down dog, and then it's like
there's like a whistle that goes off, and that's the yoga whistle.
The
Just
yoga
everyone immediattle drops downward dog.
I like it
on the spot.
I think I mean I think I talked about this when we talked about women's volleyball, but I think every sport should add that.
I mean,
You know?
Are we gonna get around to doing your yoga segment?
We
That's
will.
We can do that in the spring. We'll put you out in the quad.
Yeah, great idea.
That's-
Just drop me
Yoga
with a
section
mat
with
and
John.
see if we can get anybody to join in. That's what we'll do.
We are trying to get a little more viewer engagement in helping us plan the show this semester. So if you want to see John do his yoga segment, and if you want Isaac to be there too, just because, because it's got to be a group effort,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing it.
what? Why not? You should do it.
Well, you know what? If we're giving power to the people, I guess if they want me to do it, I guess I can't stop
Yeah,
them
you
from
should
requesting that. So.
Vote if you want us to do it, and then vote if you want me or Jack to lead it. That's what should happen.
Ooh,
I don't
man.
think Jack's on board for that idea.
How can
but-
either one of us lead it though? We'll be learning. It'll be a learning experience for us.
You
Someone's
ass-
got to be showing us what
Well,
to
you
do.
assume that I'm not a yoga.
Well,
Well, we're gonna get Autumn involved with it, right?
Yeah,
Because
we have to.
she's an experienced yoga participator
Yes.
on the
Yeah,
women's volleyball team.
exactly.
But okay, well we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
So
All right. Do we want to move on to our next sport?
I think we can head over to basketball now.
Yeah. I mean, really, the only other sport that's going on at the moment, I think pretty much all the other spring sports are still kind of in that week of get back on campus, get ready, and then we'll start next week. Baseball's like that, right?
Yep.
And I know tennis is as well. I would assume softball and
Yeah,
tennis
I
as
think
well.
everyone's getting the plans in place, and I think we're all going to start ramping back up within, I don't know, next couple weeks here.
Yeah.
Kind of get everything into motion. So
Something like
got
that.
to get all the logistical stuff out of the way first.
Yeah,
So
but that's a later problem. Right now we have basketball going on, both men's and women's. Somewhat strangely, they actually both have the exact same records. They both are 12-6 overall
What?
and 9-2 in the NAC.
that's a little weird.
I gotta quick give a shout out to our previous interviewee, Noah Eggert, who yelled at me profusely for pronouncing it NACC every single time in the last video that we did. So now he insisted that I call it the NAC every time. So that was
That's
for you, Noah.
that's
I hope you know that.
that's what it's more casually referred to as.
Yeah. Well,
that's, you got to pick up the vernacular of the athletic world.
I guess I just read 4 capitalized letters and I assume that it's
Okay, so here's an interesting debate. So when you have like an acronym like that, you have one like this, like NAC. What
Yeah.
about the ones where there's like a period after every capital letter? Do the periods like signify that that's when you read out like the letters, or versus pronouncing it like it's a word?
Does anyone really put periods in acronyms anymore though? Like not for most.
What about USA?
But people,
I've seen it
True,
both ways.
True. But people also do USA without it.
I
And
know,
I feel like when I see like a acronym with periods in it, this is really riveting conversation.
Yeah.
When I see periods or an acronym
Periods with
in
an
it,
acronym in it.
it just looks old to me. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
it's-
about it looks like something that would have been printed. In
I don't
like,
know.
a
This is my
newspaper.
English brain like going into overdrive here. So
Yeah, let's go to instead of our
we'll
comprehensive conversation
we'll
on
come back to that.
acronyms, we'll go to
And now Isaac's chair almost broke. So
this is
fun.
This is our first episode back. Keep in mind that we're recording this at it's still the first week back. We're still all kind of
do you have your chair at an appropriate height? Are you
Yeah, are you
you're all
prepared?
adjusted
Almost.
and good to go?
Alright.
Well, he keeps going up and down, so I'm
I think this is good.
Okay.
You gotta
that's-
find the home
Yeah.
stasis.
there's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because when I'm sitting in one of these chairs, like I don't like to be right on the ground.
Yeah.
I like to be elevated a little bit, but you can't be elevated to the point where like your knees are like bumping against the table or the desk.
Yes.
So there's.
But there are sometimes these tables are just really low, and the only thing you can do is just get
Right.
this all the way
Yeah,
down.
Those are the worst situations
And
when
sometimes-
there is no sweet spot. It's like you got to pick.
Oh yeah.
You got to pick which unfortunate element of the seating position you would prefer.
Okay.
And sometimes you're just legs.
I
or
have
to
to
the-
mention this because you said element. There's this commercial that comes on whenever I'm watching like anything really, and it's for like this like office chair, and they're like, we've synthesized the power of the elements in the world to create this office chair that will help you be productive. And I'm like, my dad and I are just sitting there watching it, and like he's like,
Well,
how can this? He's like, I mean, honestly, it's working because he's like, I want to buy one just to see how they synthesize the elements to make this the best chair you
Well,
ever buy.
they do this anytime they make a product. Someone just tries to make it. It's really just a super generic product, and they maybe change like one thing with it, but they got to make it sound like it's revolutionary. Like they'll do this with like a belt or something. Like we use the latest advancements in belt technology to create the ultimate comfort belt.
Yeah, I mean,
Like this thing will hold your pants up better than anything else you've ever worn before.
you know, if whatever career you would like to go into, sports analysis or whatever, doesn't work out for you, I
Yeah,
think you have
it's-
a big opportunity in infomercial narration.
That's right, because then they got to get the guys who can read the stuff really fast at the end.
Yeah,
Because there's going to be like 500 complications with the belt.
How it's not actually anything
Ranging from like a minor headache to brain decay and a slow, painful death. So
they got to be careful. They got to they got to account for everything.
right.
Okay.
Where were we?
We were at basketball before.
How did we get here from basketball?
Before we went to acronyms and then chairs, really riveting
Acronyms,
topics.
chairs, infomercials, belts.
Men's basketball. So men's basketball is actually currently on a 6-game win streak,
Good for them.
which started with a win against St. Norbert's. 66-61 was the score against St. Norbert's, which is a big deal because last year St. Norbert's was like a big rival, and they went there and beat them, which is like kind of a big deal.
You like to take one on the road.
Yes.
In the enemy territory.
Yes, and I remember watching the live stream of them playing against Norbert last year. It was like one of their last games. I think it was a tough loss, and but no, they took the win, and actually their next home game is against St. Norbert's February 7th, 7 p.m. Come on out. But their most recent win of the 6-game win streak is 87-71 versus Lakeland. I was actually talking to somebody who's like on the staff of the team yesterday, and he was saying it was kind of a comeback win. Like they started out pretty poorly, he said, and then they kind of woke up, got back together. I saw Ryan Breckel, he's a junior, had his 9th double-double of the season, which is pretty impressive. And I also saw that he's 8th in scoring in the NAC. So
He is having quite a season. Good for him.
he is. I mean, if you profusely follow the Quick Trip Warrior of the Week, it seems like he and Sam Leisman from the women's team are basically Quick Trip Warriors of the Week pretty much every week. So
And they deserve it too.
they do.
So
They do.
That's what makes it impressive. So.
Yeah, seriously. And then coming up for the men and the women actually is the Winterfest game on Saturday. It's one of those things where you'll be able to see the scores on the website. We don't know them yet because the game's coming up tomorrow for us.
We're in suspense.
Yeah, we are.
Maybe suspense is the wrong word. We're confident we're gonna win, so it shouldn't be that suspenseful.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's it's the Winterfest game. There's a lot riding on it. It's rock.
of course.
But yeah, and then I guess just to mention some of the stuff about women's basketball as well. They are on their own win streak, 4 games, and believe it or not, their last 4 games, we've talked many times about how I can't do math, so I took out my calculator.
I was
And,
I was trying to do math for something yesterday, and I was subtracting 2 numbers, only to realize after punching it into the calculator that it's just the difference was 20.
That's rough. Yeah, that one's
my ability to do any kind of mental math is just completely gone.
Yeah.
Do you still have to use your fingers sometimes?
I don't use my fingers. I just use a calculator for everything.
Yeah. That just kind of goes with like that argument that math teachers always made that was like, you're not going to have a calculator on you all the time. And it's like,
Hello?
Yeah.
Technology
You beat
these
me to it.
days.
Yes, we do. That's why by the time I got to high school, my high school algebra teacher was like, you know what? If you don't know your math facts by now and you can't do mental math, just rely on your calculator. Like, that's not getting fixed now. Like, you already, I think it was meant to be kind of like a backhanded, like, backhanded diss sort of, like, you skipped out on the developmental stage that most kids go through where they can learn basic math competency, but, there's no fixing that now, so.
Well, I mean, even if you don't know basic math and have to use a calculator, you can go on the WLC sports page and see that the last 4 wins for the women's team have been by a margin of 30 plus points, which is kind of insane.
We may not be math experts, but that sounds pretty good.
That sounds like a lot of points for a basketball game. Their most recent win was against Alverno, 77-33. I was told that the score at halftime of that game was 50-11, I believe.
Oh my.
So a dominating performance for the women there. They too have a Winterfest game against Rockford tomorrow for us, Saturday for you, and then, well, I guess it's Saturday for everyone, but
no,
you hopefully win.
No, everyone's perception of time is subjective.
Time is relative.
It's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what,
this could be Tuesday if I wanted it to be.
Why
would I want it to? That was
a
a
weird
weird
example.
example. Why would I want it to be earlier in the week when there's more?
I'm pretty sure that's not how time is relative works, but
Well, also I picked a really bad day for that that example too, because now that would mean there's more days of school left until the weekend.
Yeah, I'm done with class today.
Aren't you lucky? I got 2 more. So.
Okay, I don't want to hear it because listen.
I've been bragging to John for
listen here, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the first week of classes. And I think I've mentioned it every single day this week because I see you like every day now.
And I have an 8 a.m. every day, which is my first time ever doing that. And after a week, it's rough. And Jack.
I've been bragging about how I don't have class 2 days a week this year.
Yeah,
or
Tuesdays
this semester.
and Thursdays he has no class, so he can just do whatever he wants.
I'm basically just doing homework all day, so
I guess
at least I can sleep in before doing.
So technically, you probably wouldn't mind if it was Tuesday, because then you wouldn't have class.
I guess, yeah.
But then
you only have like 3 days of school. That must be nice.
It's kind of nice, yeah.
We're gonna not talk.
That's okay.
I'm
Yeah.
not content with that.
I can just see John's like about to start just burning with rage here if we
You
keep
have your own
mentioning
sleep
this.
schedule.
It would be fine if it wasn't for the 8 a.m.s every day for me, because that's just like something that I.
Why are you complaining about 8 a.m.s?
What do you mean?
We have to get up at 4:30 every day for volleyball practice.
Well,
There you go. Way to tie it back to volleyball.
I can't really argue with that one. Luckily, tennis practices used to be all in the morning as well.
Oh, that was a pain.
Now they are not. Some of them are, but I can't go to them because I have class at 8 a.m. So, but we have other ones in the afternoon, which is great. For
Nice.
people who are on the tennis team. But again, that's coming up next week. We'll talk about it next time. For now, what you need to know about women's basketball is that their next home game is versus Lakeland on February 1st at 7 p.m. So, once again, go check it out. Warriors supporting Warriors. That's our thing.
That's right. That's our tagline. Warriors supporting Warriors.
Warriors supporting Warriors. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm also just realizing I definitely put looking forward to spring on the agenda. So, we kind of talked about like the spring sports coming up and how we have a week off and then we're going into practices. So we mentioned
things are ramping back up.
Yes, absolutely. We're getting back into the swing of things, even though this week felt quite long. But
Well, 3 days of class, so.
this is what he does.
You had it easy, Jack.
I find a way to work it into everything somehow. So.
Yeah.
So that means
I should really stop doing that. I'm not gonna have any friends left.
Hey, you have more time to answer all my questions now.
Jack's actually just the guy who knows everything. Because the other day we have a night class together, and I didn't know where it was. And I literally just texted him like, "How do I find this classroom? Where is this?"
Yeah. Well, see, I didn't know where it was either. I just followed Joe Cook into the building, so.
There you go.
That's how we figured it out. So the janitor pointed us.
The
janitor pointed us where to go, and then we're sitting in the room, and I can just hear like other people out in the hall asking where the room is. And there's only like 6 of us in the class, but I think nobody knew where it was. I didn't even know there were other rooms on the backside of Generac there.
Yeah, this is what happens.
I didn't even know there was a backside to Generac.
I didn't even know Generac existed. I'm a comm student.
Yeah.
That's the thing when you put a whole bunch of comm students in Generac.
It's like
having.
It's like a fish out of water situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think we are going to wrap this up now. Thank you all for tuning in to the first edition of the pod for the semester. Got a lot of exciting content that's going to be coming your way over the next few months. We got some big plans.
We do.
Maybe I shouldn't hype it up that much because now if they don't come together, like everyone's gonna.
Yeah,
be...
you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. We're not that exciting.
Just know, yoga quad at some point. It's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You should charge a fee.
Ooh. Charge it.
Charge
we
a fee.
can do that.
Can we have a live audience for the yoga session?
Live stream it?
Can it be like the morning shows where like when they're on location, there's all the people in the back with the signs and.
But it's just me doing yoga?
Yes. You got someone's holding up a sign that says "Hi, Mom."
Have a bunch of cardboard jacks just standing out there with signs.
Yeah, fat heads.
Cardboard cutouts
Yeah.
Can we get
of
fat
both
heads?
of us.
Yeah, can we get like fat heads for both of us and put them on the wall?
How-
That's our only decoration.
How are we gonna convince like Senate and
Anybody
to put that in our budget?
We can be persuasive. You know,
Can we?
Yeah.
I think we'll just look ridiculous. Well, we'll leave you on that cliffhanger. Just keep tuning in to find out if we're gonna have cardboard cutouts during a yoga segment in the spring.
I would go to that.
Yeah.
If you come to the yoga segment in the spring, you'll get to meet Isaac. So you're a celebrity now because you were on the
Hello,
pod.
hello.
You can also meet him in the woo, but
Yeah, I work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I work in the woo. It's fun.
He likes to stay humble. So
he does.
right.
No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't. But
Well, with that, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. We'll go volleyball and then basketball and then whatever else we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. Can we leave in that look in the line at the
Well,
end?
it was like it threw me off because I didn't know he was gonna go down. So that was a genuinely surprised reaction.
Can we just leave
Okay, we'll keep that in there. That's it.